And we're live. Good afternoon and good morning. Good morning, good afternoon. I am your host, Ty Renee Woods, CEO of BusinessGrants.com, and I am so excited about what just happened this week. If you have not been at any of the sessions this week, let me give you a little bit of what you missed. This week we had the Get More Grants and Contracts Challenge. And we brought on Dr. Stacy Lang, who is the queen of government contracts, having secured more than $2 billion worth of government contracts. She was here all week. We were on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday evenings, and we went overtime every single time. So I asked her if she could join us for our Grant Live Thursday because it was so good. The questions were so good. And it was just amazing at how much we were able to accomplish in just a short few hours that we had her. So I just wanted her to jump in. She's not sure she's going to be able to come in on the back end, but I'm going to start it out the way that we normally start out, which is our grant reviews. And then if she's able to jump in, we will let her in. Okay. So if you can just hold tight, we're going to pull up the first grant that we're going to review. Oops, I don't have my tech. I don't have my tech support today. I have to do everything myself today. All right. First grant is how many for profits do we have? How many for profits do we have in the room? If you have a for profit company, raise your hand. Okay. And then how many have a for profit and a nonprofit? Or I should say, type one in the chat if you have a for profit, a two in the chat if you have both a nonprofit and a for profit, and three in the chat if you only have a nonprofit. That's it. There we go. I want to see who's representing here. So we got one. Okay, there's the. Okay. Okay. 2, 3, 2. Okay, so a lot of you have both. That's actually good to know. That's actually good to know because then we'll do a grant for for-profit. And then let me look at the industries here. We have health, health, um, economic development. Um, what are the other industries? You guys didn't put your industries in. Okay, listen. I need to know the industries because we have over 9,000 grants in our database. So what I'm doing is I'm curating live grants here using our technology. And I want to make sure that the grants that I'm pulling up are for the people that's in this room because you showed up. You showed up. So if you did not put it in there, okay, there we go. Make sure you put your industry and city and state. Okay. All right. Oh, Delaney is here. Ah! You guys, I was so hoping that she would be able to come. Okay, so we'll do our grants live. I'm gonna make sure that we do that. But all right, let's go over to our database. And there are quite a few health organizations in the chat. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna pull up, we're gonna use my database. And I'm gonna show my screen so you can see what this looks like. Okay, so I'm logged into businessgrants.io. That is our technology, our AI technology. We built this from scratch with Lovable. But even though we use Lovable, guys, this you have to know the industry to build this out. This is very, very, very well done, curated, if I might say so myself. Um, we have more than so far 9,000, 10,000 grants in our database. We are also including government contracts in our database very soon. We also have pipelines. So like we can create the 12-month pipeline in this database, from this database. So then I can know what grants are coming up in the next 6 months or the next 9 months. And I can start preparing for it now, especially if they're asking for certain things and that I may not have right now, but I'll get it by the time the grant opens. So I'm going to type in health. Well, actually, I can select health as an industry, healthcare, and then I'm going to leave it open because I'm going to see what's out there in the different states that it's for. So we do have some of these states in the room. Ohio. This is looks like it's an insurance company. Let's take a look. You see, it takes me right to their grant page. And some of the nonprofits they support, if your organization is very similar to this, then you will find that you will probably get support from them as well. What I tend to focus on first, you all know if you've been coming to any of my classes, to watching my YouTube channel, if you have known me for any amount of time, you know I'm going to talk about the 7, what? Type it in the chat. How many? What is it? What is it called? The 7 what? Let's see who knows me. Let's see who knows me. Ha! Kels get the she said it first. Oh, Kim said it first. Bricks. Yes. Yes. The 7 bricks. The 7 bricks. And the reason why is because we focus on foundation more than we focus on a grant list. I can send you a grant list right now with 10,000 grants on it. You're still not going to win not one of them if you don't have anything in place. And so what I want to do is just I always just really quickly review the bricks, really quickly review the bricks. I'm not even going to show a screen. I'm going to really quickly review the bricks. Brick 1, mission. Mission statement, vision statement. You need to have a mission. Most of you should have a mission statement at this point if you've been following me for any amount of time. If you don't, I have a prompt in the AI prompt guide. If you don't have that, Go into the school community. My school community is skool.com/business grants. If you're not in the community, go over there. You're going to click on the tab that says resources, and the AI grant prompts are in there for only for the school community. You guys get it for free. Everybody else who's chiming in from other places, you can get my AI grant prompts, but you're going to have to pay $97 for it. Or you can just go on to my school community for free. Which one would you rather have? Okay, so school.com, that's SKOOL, school.com/business grants, spelled out regularly, B business grants. Okay, so mission, number one. Number two, board of directors if you're a nonprofit, board of advisor or advisory council for a for-profit. Everyone should have people on their team who knows something that you don't know, who can help push the mission forward. That's the main reason why we have that as a brick. Okay, number three, strategic programs. Or if you're a for-profit, a core offer, strategic offer. You should have at least one. If you don't, you need to build that out. I have prompts in the AI grant prompt guide specifically for building out program narratives, strategic offers. It's really good. That's 2-page prompts, guys. My prompts, by the way, if you haven't seen the prompt guide, this is not a Google search prompt. This is not a one sentence prompt. Some of my prompts are 3 pages long. That's how in depth it is, because you don't have to keep pushing it back in through and refeeding it. No, you might have to make one tweak because of something that you didn't enter in, but most of the time you're going to get the answer that you need after the first prompt. So that's why the prompts are so very, very, very detailed. Very, very detailed. Number four, financial and legal compliance. You have to be compliant. What does that mean, Ty? Well, number one, I recently spoke to a business. I'm sorry, that's not funny because I try not to play on people's weaknesses, because at the end of the day, we all just don't know what we don't know. Okay. So they came to me and they said, I got my EIN number. I said, oh, great. So what state are you registered in with Secretary of State? You know, I can look it up. Anybody can look it up. You should be registered with your Secretary of State, right? As a nonprofit. Well, they thought they had a nonprofit because they had an EIN number. And so I said, well, no, you need to be registered with your state as a nonprofit corporation. And then that same EIN number that you got, you need to get that EIN number exempt from taxes. So you have to go back into the IRS and file for exemption with a form called 1023. And they were like, yeah, I didn't do none of that. I said, well, that's why when you apply for grants, you're not winning them because you're not compliant. And it shows. It shows. So you need to be compliant. Financial, the reason why I say financial and legal together, because they tend to work together. Without having your financial house in order, it will be very difficult if you do win a $100,000 grant to manage it. Over time, you need to be able to prove what you did with the money. And if you don't have some type of, I say QuickBooks, some type of accounting system, something that's going to help you and them see where the money went. That's it. Okay. And you need to show that on your annual report. So I said, what's the annual report? We can do that later. Brick 5, this is probably one of the most important bricks, and the brick that we focused on during the challenge: multiple streams of revenue. If your business or nonprofit does not have more than one stream, you're going to go out of business. You're going to end up finding yourself stuck trying to make ends meet. And we're not going to allow you to fall into that trap, which is why the Get More Grants Challenge this week was focused on getting more grants and contracts. So we're going to talk about that in a few seconds, why the government is the number one customer in the country, and why you are not selling to them, Multiple streams of revenue. Number 6, branding and marketing. Enough said. Enough said. So many people, I've had people tell me, Ty, I don't need a website. Ty, I don't need social media. Ty, I don't do that. I'm not on social media. I don't need that. If you're in 2026 and you do not have social media as a business, I'm not talking about your personal social media. I'm talking about unless your personal brand is your business. But if that's not the case, you should have a social media for your business and for your personal. And if you're doing business with your, not talking about influencers who use their personal life as a part of business. I'm talking about you have a um, nail tech business. Well, what does that have to do with your family? Like you can separate that, okay? Something that's totally out of your lane. You can separate that. You should separate that. But anyway, branding and marketing is so important. And it's the reason why this $50,000 check that's behind me is a constant reminder of branding and marketing for my organization because they found us on Google. They said they Googled youth arts organizations in Atlanta. They were looking for a specific type of organization. We popped up number one. And every time I look it up, I do it live. I will go on Google to make sure that we are either number one or number two or number three, because that shows me that my Google advertising grant is still working. You got a grant for Google advertising? I sure do. It's $10,000 a month. The advertising grant goes directly to the Google ads. I don't get the money, I get the credits. $10,000 though. $10,000 worth of advertising credits Google gives me in a grant. And that grant pays for my Google advertising. You guys, I got $50,000 as a result of it. But what if I would have been one of those people that said, well, I don't do websites? Oh, well, then that $50,000 would have went to another organization. Just that easy. Brick number 7, and the last brick is not the least. It's not the least. It's actually the most important, and that's leadership and your team. Without taking care of you, without taking care of your team, who's going to run this thing? And if you're trying to do it all by yourself, you're going to burn out. You need a team. So that's the 7 bricks. It's in my book, The House the Pigs Built with 7 Bricks. Find it on Amazon. It is available. It's climbing up the charts. The House the Pigs Built with 7 Bricks. And we will start working on grants right now. All right. So this grant was for a health company. And I just want you to know they don't ask for a lot, but as you can see, the type of they're looking to fund organizations committed to education, healthcare, agriculture, community development, and employee civic engagement, civic involvement. What does that mean, Ty? If you have an event that can engage their employees, you would most likely receive a check from them. So I have this check right here from Southwire. And they specifically, so we have a back to school event. It's in July. It's the largest back to school event in the state of Georgia. This particular company, they know about this because it's all over the news. This particular company asked if we are able to donate or if we sponsor this, can our employees come and volunteer? And with their volunteer hours, we will do an additional donation because we pay for dollars for hours. $20 for every hour that their employee will serve at this event. So we're like, oh, for sure. For sure. You guys need to send 100 people, and we will get them working. We will get them working. Oops. So some of you are looking for grants when sometimes you can just put your event together, put your community event together, go to these corporations. Here's a hack, how you can get a grant really quickly. Put your community event together. Some of you are hosting 5Ks, breast cancer walks, and I mean, you're doing these amazing events, but you have no sponsors because they don't know about you and they don't know about the impact that the grant that the grant will make on the community and in that particular community, whatever you're walking for, right? So one of the things that I had to explain to like even my mentees is you're leaving money on the table because you have this event that people want to come to. They want to send their employees there, and then the employees will then mark this down as a part of volunteer service. They will send it into HR. HR will cut you a check. That's how it works. So what are you going to do? Create a community engagement event. If you don't already have one, type one in the chat if you have community events. If you host community events, type one in the chat. Let's see. It had to be during my call when the landscaping company decides they want to show up. Is that something? Okay, let's see. Who has events coming up? Okay, we got several people who have events coming up. Okay. Here's what we'll do. We'll do one more grant. This grant was for for-profit companies. You might have already heard of this grant. This is called the Verizon. This is the Verizon? I was just on there yesterday. Oops. Digital Ready. Oops, I'm all over the place. Digital Ready grant. All of these buttons are sticking. All right, so you see I'm on Verizon's page, so you make sure you're on this page, digitalready.verizonwireless.com. That's the page. Digitalready.verizonwireless.com. Actually, let me just copy this, put it in the chat. This is for profits only. For profits only. Here. Oh, I thought you could see my screen. Can you see it now? Okay, for profits only. They are awarding $10,000 every quarter to for-profit companies. And here's what you need to do. It's actually not that bad. Now, of course, you don't know if you're going to be selected. There's millions of people that are, at least thousands of people that are on here. The goal was to get people digital ready, and they knew by applying grants to it that that's how people were going to take it seriously. So you do need to, how do you apply? You need to register and complete 2 courses or events anytime in 2026. The good thing about this particular grant, though, is once you submit your application, you remain eligible for the $10,000 grant for the rest of the year. So you apply, you complete your 2 classes or 2 events, and then once you're done with that, you don't necessarily have to do any more. But of course, they have more classes. You can take them. It will help you anyway. And they have the list of courses and events here. And all you need to do is just wait to see if you're the winner. Um, there are some FAQs in here, so you can definitely take a look and see if there are anything else that will disqualify you or something. So like geographies, if needed, the algorithm ensure the balanced mix of industries. So how selections are made, they are using technology to help them because this is a very, very, very popular grant. And I say very, Verizon knows this. That's why they brought it back. And they are making the announcements each month, 10 small businesses. So there is a lot of, they're doing a lot of money. They're doing a lot of, they're doing 100,000 worth of grants every month. But 100,000 people are applying for it. But I do want you to go ahead and at least get 2 of these classes done so you can be eligible, and it will be in there for the rest of the year. The next time you have to apply is next year. Okay. So that's for the for-profits, which is 50% of this room. Now we are at 12:30, and I have the privilege of announcing this bonus addition to our grant review live. And we're going to make this an extension of the Get More Grants Challenge. This particular individual has, like, they've blown up the internet on our side, right? Okay, we did our grants challenge. By the third day, the word got around the community and our numbers tripled that day. And we ended up going overtime by 90 minutes. That's how much valuable information. When I tell you everybody's faces were glued to that and your ears were glued in, there was so much value given in that 2.5 hours. It was only supposed to be a 1 hour class, but it was so much information. And we were literally like looking at grants and contracts live and then finding out exactly what we need to do to qualify for it. I just said, can you please come back one more time? I already have a captive audience on Thursdays. This is my regularly scheduled program, but I will let you take up some of my time if you can just please bring some of this knowledge to my Thursday group. So if you guys could give Miss Dr. Stacy Lane a warm business grants welcome. And I would like to bring you up on the stage, Dr. Lane. You are up. Okay.
I got it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. How are you today? It looks wonderful in here.
Oh, wow. Yes, it is amazing. This group is the majority of the people that comes on Thursdays. These are people that are my regular attendees. They come ready with their notes, ready to learn about grants. We do review grants. We look at some grants that are open right now, like you just saw. We have live grants that we look at, and then we look at the eligibility and say, okay, this is how you apply. And that's the whole purpose of grant review Thursdays. Um, it was amazing. Oh, some people are here from She Gets Funding Summit. There are some people that are here from the executive community with the nonprofit guy, Blake Nathan. There are some people that are here from our school community, our business grants school community. So we have people from all over the country that are here, and so I had some questions last night. I didn't get through all the questions because you had just blown our minds once again. And we just wanted to first of all say thank you so much for coming back. I know you're busy and you're probably like in the middle of some lunch or something, and you just took the time to come here. So thank you so much. All right.
Absolutely.
Now let's get to the gold mine. Also, do you still have the slides that talk about the micro grants? Because I think that would be the 10K grants. I mean,
I
not
do.
contracts, the contracts. Can you go over that again? That was probably the number one question that I had in my inbox yesterday or the day before yesterday, that people wanted more information about, and exactly how they could go about getting 10K a week from the government. That was an amazing discovery for
Give me just a
all of you.
sec. Let me pull that up.
Okay. So can you tell them a little bit about yourself? There's a lot of people here that are new.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I pull the right slide up. You all, we do a lot of things, but I'm a little directionally challenged at times on the technology. It's one of the things that require full attention from me. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Move that all the way over. Here. And then let me share that screen.
Okay, I'm going to give you the spotlight here. There you go.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Excellent. Let me go here. How about now? Can you still see it?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. All right. I have this system set up here, you all, that the team put together. So it's multiple screens. So if you see me looking up, I'm looking up at the screens that's above me. My name is Dr. Stacy Lang, and I have the honor and privilege of working with none other than the phenomenal Ty Woods that you all are very familiar with. I recently, within the last year or so, came in contact with Ty from one of our other business associates. One of the things that I believe is that collaboration is the new currency. So for about 25 years, I've operated under that principle in the government grant and contract space. One of the things I discovered is that working in the government contract space, the grants are beautiful. I love grants. I mean, I build multi-million-dollar business on grants. I love the grants. And my clients have done very well in that arena as well. The government contracts, when you combine, because some of us start with the for-profit and then we get a nonprofit, and then when you combine it, you have the opportunity to move in the government contract space differently, just a tad bit, than the grant space. In the government contract space, you heard about the bid and the offerings and things like that. That's in the government contract space. So in that space, you'll see on this presentation is where I found that you don't have to actually write a RFP. You're going to write an invoice. And I want to show you how we do that in the government contract space. My degrees are in psychology and education and business development and all of that, being a college professors and all of those things. But my love is contract work. A grant is a contract. The contract with the government is a contract. If you get nothing else, I want you to understand that the largest employer who we want to be our best customer is one, small business. Small business rules the world. Okay. That's why it's only 1% and 1% in the top. And then you got the middle. When you look at the pyramid, you got that little bitty Elon Musk group. And then you have the small businesses. And then you have the workers. Okay. Most people here are in that small business space. In the small business space, you rule the world. So you are the ones, we are the ones that go to the government and say, oh, you need that done? My company can provide that service for you. And they don't want to, they are now eliminating some of those big businesses and saying, we don't want to pay them multi-million dollars to do it. We just want to pay a few $1,000,000 to multi people. So now I can do more with less. And you do that by collaborating. So if you got $1 million and I got $1 million and we both doing the same thing, then we collaborate so that we can operate as a bigger business. I hope that little piece gave you a little clarity before I jump into this presentation. Any questions before I jump in? Because if it's anything that you want me to hit specifically, I will. We good? Yes, yes. Okay. I love the hearts or something. So then I know that you all are here with me. So here's the thing. The government, and I won't take long. The government is writing a check. And this, I have it on here because I did this presentation for women. I know there are men in the room, so don't feel excluded, because if I knew you were here and I was doing this, I would have threw men up there. So put a slash on that, whoa, men. Okay, so that's a combination, because what it is that most of us really don't know how to cash the check. And that's the number one thing we want to be able to do. Thank you. So what are we looking at? We plan with $7.1 trillion. We hear all of these numbers. It sounds astronomical. And what? The government is buying what? What are they doing? So when you drive down the street anywhere in your community and you see Department of Veterans Affairs, Boys and Girls Club, the Urban League, you're looking at all of those are government funded. Salvation Army just did a grant for them. When you think about all these places, they got government funding, which makes them government buildings. Those are government funded organizations, and they need people to do their grass service. They need people to do their cleaning services. So the government is spending plenty of money, and it's buying from businesses. It's buying from businesses right now, but is it buying from your business? And if it's not, then the question says, how does it get to buy from me? Because buying from you on contracting and procurement, of that 7.1 trillion, is 700 billion for contract and procurement work that does not necessarily require a full written proposal and a competitive bid. It does not, if you have your paperwork right. Now, I always say to people, you got to get your paper right, meaning your paperwork, your cage code, your UEI, get your paperwork before you can get your paper right. Okay? Some of y'all caught that. So the micro purchase gold mine. I absolutely love micro purchase. I just spoke about some of the top industry: cleaning, catering, repair, AI, technology. Those are our micro areas. Those are the simple, everyday, repeatable businesses that the government need, that we need. The shopping, those things, the events, those are simple, repeatable businesses that are needed regularly. Training, education, those things are repeatable business. Notice I keep saying simple, repeatable, everyday business. In the government procurement space, where you just saw that $1 billion back there, wait a minute, let me go back. Right here, that's 700B. In that procurement space, the 10K. You, once your paperwork is written up correctly, you literally can go on that 10K, long as it's 10K and below, and put your bid in, you as a vendor, to the government, and say, I can provide to your Veterans Affairs building all the cleaning services of this building. And you put a bid in to do it. It's literally listed what they need, and nobody is bidding on it. When you go by and you see the high grass and the things, because a lot of these buildings are vacant now, and they still have a bid, but nobody's bidded on it. And those are the bids. There's not just 10K. What do you mean 10K? 10K a week. These are weekly payouts. So if you got one agency contract, you have no RFP. RFP is request for proposal. You're in this grant class, so I know you know about RFP. RFP, then you just need a purchase order for your business. The agency spend bill. Now, I just showed you 700B. So if you got 700B, here's some things. Are you registered? Is everybody in here registered? Anybody in here registered at all on SAM.gov? Why is that the most important thing? It's important. Okay, Kimberly say yes. It's important for you to be registered on SAM.gov. You know why? Because they're going to ask you for your banking information. And that is how the government know where to cut the check to. So even if you got to have your registration, it's part of your paperwork being right? You got to have your UEI. You got to have your cage number. You cannot have a virtual office anymore on SAM.gov. And if you had one when you registered, it's time to update it, because they won't send you your money. So Contact the agency, small business office. Write that down. You can screenshot. I'm open for that. Small business offices and ask for what? The micro vendor list. That means you want the micro purchases. So, first, one agency. If you get one agency, meaning Department of Veteran Affairs, Boys and Girls Club, Urban League, one of the vacant buildings, DOD, I love DOD. They're not just sending out missiles. They still got to have their bathrooms clean. They still got to get pencils and pens ordered. They still have to have somebody come in and bring the towels in for their services. Things need to be done. Those small, repeatable, everyday business is listed on the website. Everything they need is listed because the government has to buy from the biggest economy mover on the planet. You, the small business. They have to. Because who's going to do it? Big business, even when Department of Urban League, they get the grant, and then you're going to get their money. Somebody got to do the work. Even when they're saying the money is ending, if you drive by, you see those well manicured lawns. Now, I don't mow grass. I don't know the first thing about fertilizer or anything. But you know who do? The person to come and cut my grass. One of you in here, somebody do. So I'll subcontract it. I know about the contracts. I know how to get to that bag. And so what our purpose is, and when we're doing the grants and government contract and accelerator, is to get you to your spot. So what happens here? 52 times what? What do you mean 52? 52 weeks. If you're getting 10K for 52 weeks, that's $500,000 that you just added, and you subcontract, and you don't even have to do it. It doesn't have to be in your area of expertise. Like the gentleman who does autisms with adults, he need a facility. You providing education and services. If he said autism with adults of veteran children, now you even got more specific. Why would I put veterans? Because they got new money out for veterans with autism. They got autistic money for that. So sometimes you got to go outside of your box and be willing to turn and twist a little bit. I saw that in the chat. But what if you go ahead and get 5 agencies? Department of Veterans Affairs, the Human Services, DOD, DHS. Now you have 5 different agencies. 5 agencies at 10K a week is 2.6 million added to your organization. Now I could go on and tell you all of the recurring cash, because we got a full write up like how you need to be on the GSA schedule. That multi award schedule is so important. We're on the GSA schedule, and several of our clients are on there. So you have access to all the schedules when you're in the challenge with us, because we're able to help give you access to where you don't have to pay. When people call me to get on the GSA schedule, that's a $25,000 ticket, because it's a lot of work to get on that schedule. Okay. So this is what you want. The OTA. This is what I'm saying, where you don't have to be it. You don't have to look for, move this off of here. Sorry about that. You don't have to look for the RFPs and all of that kind of stuff. These are the no seal bids. It's not about who's this how much we paying for it, who can do it, and submit your invoice, your credentials, because you're already registered. Remember, we got your paperwork right already. So since you're already registered, then we're able to go ahead and put you in that system and make sure that you get through that system. Here is, let me go back. A couple of the pathways that you can go in to get it. The application is all the same. And we don't do shotgun approaches. We pretty much are very sniper approach. I always tell people you got to aim, and that's why you come into the challenge, so we can show you exactly what aligns with you and your purpose. You don't want to be out here wild shooting and aiming like Shotgun Sally. It's not what we do. We're very specific, because we have a very specific target. And if I ask you right now, what's your target? Some of us would say, well, my target is I work with youth, I work with this. No, I want to know how much money you want to make. What's your target? When you're getting a contract, how much money of that 700 billion do you want to arrive in your account? So we go through the different areas. I'm going to skip up because it's not a full presentation, but the 10 contracts that nobody is really chasing, you'll find here. Take a screenshot. This is multiple levels. When you, like cybersecurity compliance consulting, some people are like, I'm not in cybersecurity. I don't know anything about cybersecurity. You know someone that do. You know that the computers and the laptops have to be secure. You don't have to be the person that actually does the technology, but I bet you could teach a class on it. Some of us. That's not your thing, then you'll find a friend. And in this class or another one that can do it once you win a contract, you're looking at $3 million a year. Okay. So you pick the area, workforce training. Everybody in here, no matter what your area of expertise, you want to be in this HR workforce training. Staff augmentation is my specialty. I have a whole staffing agency in the Philippines and in Egypt. I have a whole staffing agency. My remote staff come from Egypt, incredible individuals, and the Philippines. Every now and then I deal with some of them in India, but my India people are outsourced. They are not in my organization. Numbers difference, times different, a lot of differences. But my Philippine team and my Nigerian, I got Nigeria too. My Egypt team, you want to do staff augmentation. They do the calls for you. They do the build out of services, the planning, development, exponential growth. Health and wellness, all of us are in mental health and wellness programs. We're all providing mental health and wellness programs. Everything you do right now, this is a mental health activity. Okay. One of the things I do, I think I'm getting arthritis or something. I don't know, but I go to PT so that they can massage my knees and give me those exercises for my knees. So that because I do a lot of running and all of that impact, but I'm not bone to bone. So just letting you all know that I'm just super excited. I got a great report today. But that's a part of the wellness program. That's a part of the wellness program in a private agency that they get paid, that you could get paid because it's a contract. So wellness comes in many layers. It doesn't necessarily have to be addiction and mental illness and things like that. There are a lot of wellness. Stretching, all of that is wellness. Okay. Social media and communication. Many of us are in social media and communication. So you got a lot of opportunity here for you to be able, language translation. They're always looking for language translation. Big deal. So I'll conclude right here on this slide. And I think, am I still sharing or did I stop sharing?
Yes, you did stop sharing. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to open it up for questions because I know like you guys are like, okay, she literally, you guys were like, okay, I'm ready. You opened up your mouth and then she was like, I'm going to give you a little drop. Then she turned the water hose way up. You're like, I'm trying to drink it all. Okay, let's go back to the agencies that they need to go to. What were those agencies? There was a lot of acronyms. And
so I would say their first agency is in your state. You want to go for your state, and on the state website, it has the federal procurement, and that's where you'll find your micro contracts. So you want to be a vendor in your state, and you want to register immediately. But before you do any of that, you want to make sure your paper is right, meaning you want to make sure that you're incorporated with your EIN, you're registered on SAM, because those numbers and letters are required there as well.
Okay, folks, type in the chat the state that you're in. I thought I saw Ohio, Georgia. I'm going to go over and look at one of the states. I'm just going to go and check one of the states just so I can get an idea and you can see for yourself. Okay, here we will, let's go to Georgia. I mean, that's where I am. That's where I am. So let's see. I'm going to type in Georgia procurement.
Georgia, go to Secretary of State Business.
Oh, Secretary of State. Okay. Oh, goodness. It'll get me there. Okay. Corporations Division.
Yes.
The system down. We're going to Ohio then. World. Oh, that's the E-Corp system. Hold on. Let me just go directly to the Secretary of State system. Let's see. Right here. There we go. Okay. So here under business. Let's see. Where
Hold on. Let me pull it up. What state are we?
I just typed on Georgia Secretary of State. And so I'm looking for, am I looking for,
Hold on, I'm pulling it right up for you.
okay. Licensing, this is a lot of stuff.
Go under business.
Oh, business. Okay. Click on business.
Here you go.
Outstanding.
I'm getting ready to send it to you. Right now, I'm going to put it in the chat so you can go direct, so you don't have to click all those spaces.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you got a few clicks. And same thing. There you go. For procurement.
Oops. Let me go through.
Look in the chat.
Yeah, that's what I thought she was talking about, SBA, but no, it's not SBA. Oops. I'm in the chat.
State purchasing supplies. See it at the bottom. Register here. In the chat.
It's not nothing in the chat.
It's not your chat. I'm in your chat. Oh, maybe I sent that direct. Wait a minute. Wait.
You can put it for everyone so that they can see.
No, I think I sent it to a person.
Oh. Yeah, put it in this chat here. I paused the screen, Kels, so that I want to open up the right window.
Meeting group chat?
Here in the Zoom chat.
There, did that come up?
Oh, there we go. Okay. Versus. Oh, yes, I've been on this site before. Oops.
And see where it says register here?
I think I'm actually registered for. Okay, now I'm going to share this screen. All right. So this was the Department of Administrative Services.
There we go.
And I'm registered for Team Marketplace. I always get these notifications, but I didn't know what I was registering for specifically. So I actually have a login. So let's just go and see what they have available. Well, I'm not logged in, so it says only 2, but I think because I'm not signed in. But let's just take a look at what's open right here that I don't have to log in. Okay, so the Department of Corrections is looking for offender communication services. And Department of Community Health is looking for Medicaid fraud, waste, and abuse. They want somebody that's going to be detective for this stuff. And I see why.
Now communication is really big. So when you're looking at that, you literally can put your bid in on that. They got
review the bid package. Wait, let's see. Multiple bids not allowed. Okay, let's see. Scope of services. Then they have all these other compliance. See, this is why a lot of people, you see all of this? I would see this and I would be like,
And
nope,
exit.
nope.
And that's why they stay unfulfilled, because when people do not come and get support and have
Wow.
someone that does this.
So in this scope of work, they're asking, this is a very lengthy scope of work. Is it always like this long?
Some are, some aren't. If I'm just going to do cleaning, like if you put cleaning in, it's a little different, but it is detailed, always very detailed.
So they're asking for 3 references or previous customers. And I get that they are probably gonna, most bids ask for references. And I get it. I mean, just like if you're applying for
And
a
even in a
job,
grant. Mm-hmm.
if you're applying for a job, they're gonna ask for references too.
And grants, we call those letters of support.
Wow. So you actually help people apply for these?
You know, you have someone in here right now. I was looking in the chat and I want to share how we help.
Okay.
If I can share that screen. Any questions before we leave? Because every state is different. Some you go directly to your Secretary of State and you click multiple buttons till you get to that page. But all the procurement is on every state has it. Your federal dollars are there, your state dollars are there, and local dollars are there. Every department has it.
So that's where you type your state and then type in procurement office and click on what pops up for you guys. And just let's do a scroll, take a look at some of the services they're looking to purchase and see if any of those services are anything remotely to what you do.
Now
Because
I have a
we're
wait a
doing
minute.
multiple streams. We're trying to give you multiple streams of income in your nonprofit and in your for-profit businesses. So the government should be one of your customers.
I'm going to share, Ty.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. The government should definitely be your customer. 1 minute.
So, meanwhile, I need to Georgia Tea Marketplace. Tea Marketplace.
There we go. Okay, let me come back down and share. You had or have someone in your space named Brennan's Bridges.
That's me.
Okay. So I saw you post in the chat your business thing. And I was trying, you were asking about what was available. So in the system that we do for people who are in the program, I saw you did some fundraising online and you were, let me move this down a little bit. So here's some funds for you. Your organization with the Next for Autism, here's a grant that is immediately available for your nonprofit up to 10K. It's due tomorrow. But based off of who you are and what your services are, our system says you're 94% adult approval rate, your probability of winning that you qualify for. I did a quick research on your company and looking at it, we would follow up with that by June because the grantor response date is November. but that'll start going in your pipeline. And so what we do with the clients, what the program that Ty and I are working together, is we provide you, like how you were doing with the popcorn, trying to do the fundraising, for your immediate dashboard. This is what we found that would be available for you. All the different grants, but we also went, because you're a nonprofit, what are the high levels? 94%, 88, 82. It tells you in Texas, those postgraduate autism transition. If you're 501c3, you're checked that box. So it tells you what boxes, mental health and disability. Some medium levels, then 65%. Here we don't really deal with if it's that low. We want you to be at a higher level. Sometimes we do it just because if it's easy, because sometimes you win those, and that varies. But as you go through, and then for the for-profit, you actually qualified for some for-profit dollars. Now, we're all familiar with Amber and Hello Alice, Comcast, but you may not have been familiar with the U.S. Chamber for the Small Business or Autism Speaks. These are things that give you smaller dollars, but definitely they have a broad scope, like 21 days, 14 days. These are what I call quick funding. I always look for the quick funding, low hanging fruit funding. And then the tracker, like let's say if you were in the program, these are the ones we would start first for you. So we would pull out about what we got here, 20. That's where you would want to start. And that's contracts and grants that we're looking at. And then it says, do this now. That's how our program is set up. So what would I tell you as a member in the challenge is to say, we have a 90-day program. Apply next for this Autism Pioneer grant. Why? Because it's due tomorrow. There's a 2 to 3 hour webinar plus the application. And then it tells you the nature of it, up to 10K, 52 organizations. Your probability is very high on winning here. That was a 98% probability. So you probably want to screenshot that and just apply for that. That's just a gift. Because you put your business in the
thank you.
Yes.
Oh my
so
God.
can you scroll up to the site?
Screenshot.
Yeah.
That give you your first top 10, and then
okay, so we are over time, and you guys know I usually don't go over on the Thursdays because usually you guys are joining me for your lunch breaks. But if you don't have anything to do, we're gonna just give her. Let's close out at like around 1:15. I try to be respectful of your time now. At nighttime, the reason why I was able to go longer because it's evening, everybody's sleeping. We went until 10 o'clock plus last night. Okay.
And I love Ty because she is right and exact. I'll get you all in here and you better quit your job and been over here.
Yes, so don't quit your job just yet. Let us get you set up properly. Let us get you in the right the lane you're supposed to be in. We'll go ahead and start working through applying for some of these grants and contracts. Of course, you all know with business grants, with businessgrants.com, our agency will help you with the grant side and getting grant ready, having that foundation in place along with the executive. Those who here with the executive, you guys know that's what Blake is helping you with, getting grant ready and putting your foundation together. And then you guys come over here when you're ready to have grant writing done, your fractional development department. So a lot of people can't afford a development director. A lot of people can't afford a development director, but and the development director is the person that raises the money for the nonprofit. And I mean, I was a development director even for my nonprofit. My last salary, right before I stepped down to do business grants full time, was $92,000, and that was underpaid. That was underpaid. I was approached by a very large. If I said the name, you would know. They offered me $250,000 to come on as their development director. Now their budget size is 25 million, so I have to raise 25 million every year. But that was not the problem. The problem was they were going to own my time 60 plus hours a week, and I was just not able or willing to give up my time anymore. I have waited so long. A lot of you know my testimony about trying to conceive my own child. I have adopted my oldest two, my 23-year-old and my 12-year-old, and I say they're my biological child too, but I didn't give birth. And then God gave me the blessing of my daughter at the age of almost 44 years old. So what I was not going to do was exchange my time for dollars when I waited so long. It took 17 years for me to conceive. So for me to go back into corporate America and to sell my time, I just did not want to give that up. And I waited this long to be a biological mom. So I was able to take off, start businessgrants.com while I was pregnant. And then afterwards, just focus on staying home with her and building this from the ground up. And now she's 4, I'm 4 years in, and the organization is still around. The nonprofit I founded is still here. See, that's because I built it from this with the bricks, y'all, with the bricks. So it's still here with me not being there. Okay. And they are my client, though. They are my client. And fractional development is what we sell now. So I will be fractional development department. I will give you my fractional development department. They raise the money. They do the donor campaigns for you. They help you with the grant writing. But you have to, if you're an executive, you have to be cleared first through the executive program to be grant ready. If you're not cleared, you cannot come over here yet. And I just wanted to make sure, I told him I was going to make that clear when I talked to you all, to make sure that you stay in the executive and finish what you start there before you try to come over here and get grant writing. I do know that you're ready to start raising money right away. You've made investments and things like that, and you want to write, but you can start going after contracts. You all don't have to wait until you get that ready approval, because some of you can do things right now that can generate that, those micro contracts, or 5, 10K contracts with the government. And you could just do some of that side work, right? What did you say, Dr.
I just said it pays weekly. That's 5, 10K.
Oh yeah, it pays week. Yes. So that way you can start building up your cash flow. I understand. I'm an entrepreneur too. You want to build up that cash flow on the side while you're getting grant ready, so that when it's time to raise money the right way through fractional development, then you can come over to businessgrants.com. Or you can take our 90-day accelerator, which we just launched at the Get More Grants Challenge. Now, I don't normally pitch anything on these Grant Thursdays, but I do want to give you the opportunity to come in. This was the last day of the challenge was yesterday, but since Dr. Lang is here today, and she just gave you a little bit of what it is we're going to be doing in the 90-day accelerator, I wanted to give you all the opportunity to come in and just jump in for just $500 to start. You start it out, make your payments, and then we're going to help you install these other revenue streams into your business. So I am going to drop the link in the chat. And if you are not you can't do it just right now, but you still want to reach out to me about it, then just send me a message on School, or you can email me. You can email us at info@businessgrants.com. No, Business Grants University. Oops, let me go back. Business Grants University. That's what I want. Let me make sure that's correct. info@businessgrantsuniversity.com. Stephanie, can you put the link for the deposit there? And we will be looking forward to working with you all. Is there anyone here who, you want to be in the 90-day accelerator? By the way, we start on Monday. We're not playing. We start on Monday. So my team will call you tomorrow. We'll get you the form out tomorrow. We start on Monday. We're not playing. No, we don't have time to waste. This is government contract season. This is grant season. So we need to start getting those grants in and kicking them out, boom, 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 boom. We need to start now before grant season closes. So yes, that's the link. Please use that link in the chat, everyone. Click that link. Go to, you're going to scroll down. You're going to enter your name and email address. No, name, email, phone number. And then you go to the next page and you're only making a $500 deposit, which is going to seal your seat. And then my team will call you to discuss some other options for payments. Okay. One last thing. If you have not received your free consultation with me, your 30-minute consultation with me, and you just want to see, hey, Ty, before I sign up for the accelerator, can I at least like take a look, can you look into my business and see like what's the likelihood of me getting close to funding? Well, we can do that for you. Okay. If you want to talk to somebody, there's type A's and type B's. There's some type A's in here that's like, I don't need to talk to nobody. Give me the link. And you're just going to sign up. But then there's a type B that I get it. There's everybody in the room. And so for you, I want to talk to you. I want to see where your business is. And we can discuss. If you say, Ty, I'm going to go by what you say. If you say the likelihood of us getting funding through government contracts and grants is very strong, then I would love to join you all. But we will look at your business and I'll be honest with you. I'll be like, you don't even have an EIN number. Now, come on now. We don't have time for that. Those of you who are sitting here and you're just listening every Thursday and you haven't done anything, nope. I'm telling you right now, nope. That's not what this 90 days is about. That's not what this 90 days is about. So if you are not going to take this serious and add extra income to your business, if you don't want to add extra income to your business, this is not for you. We're here to, this particular accelerator is to add extra income to your business. All right. So if you want to meet with me, send that email. And Stephanie, send that info at businessgrantsuniversity.com. Send us an email and I'll send you the link to my direct calendar. Wait, I think I actually have the calendar link. Hold on. And you can get on my calendar and we can talk about it today, later today or tomorrow. Let's talk about it. Let me look at your business and I'll tell you, yeah, you should be in it, or no, maybe you should wait until the next time we come back around to this. Okay. This is not for everyone. Okay, I found it. businessgrants.com/discovery call is the direct link to talk about this. Okay, Hilda, you got it? All right. A couple of other people in here wanting to talk about it first before you just jump in. Use that link. All right. You guys got it? Before I jump off? Any last minute questions before we let Dr. Lane go? Because you guys know how hard it is to get on her schedule, and I was able to get on her schedule three days in a row. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You're so welcome, Hilda. You're so welcome. I look forward to adding some extra extra revenue into your business. You're so welcome. And thanks again, Dr. Bush, for joining
before we go, I just want to say you have an incredible group here. And being able to, because it's very intimidating when you look at all these numbers.
Oh, wait, Ms. Lewis, you're in? Are you in are you from last night? Remember that Ms. Lewis from last night who said they were going to go and get, she's in. Oh my gosh, guys. Let me tell you listen, yesterday, she said, I don't know how I'm going to come up with the $500, but I will have it by tomorrow and I will be in the program. I'm going to figure out the rest later. But I am going to join.
I was praying for her. I really want to see her win.
Oh my gosh. That you just made my day, Ms. Lewis. You just made my day. You just made my day for real. For real. Wow.
I was just gonna say it seems like it could be very daunting and overwhelming when you look at all the clicks and all the availability. 700 billion sounds unreal.
Yeah. I looked at it. It was a lot. It was a lot. I got overwhelmed, and I'm a professional at this.
Yeah, so but you have a team. You gotta have a team to win. I mean, people make it seem like it's just click and order, and it is if you know what you're clicking and ordering. Like some people love to teach the class. Some people love to do social media.
Right.
I and Ty love to get the paperwork right and to go through. My entire team are those people who want to dig down deep and say, oh, you can get this. I told somebody, I don't care if it's shoestrings. You can provide the straws and the shoestrings to the military. Whatever it is, we gotta micro manage it, and you gotta be willing, ready, and able. Now I heard Ty say something that if you just been sitting here, you don't have your EIN and you collecting information, I'm gonna challenge you to go to the next step because you got enough. Today gave you enough. That put a period in it and say it's time to move to the next level. This time you were here last year. This is your time to go to the next level. Yeah. That's all I got, Time.
All right. So you guys have my link. You have the link. If you got the $500, you just go ahead and sign up right now, and then type in the chat, I'm in. Type in the chat, I'm in.
Congratulations to Ms. Lewis.
Yes. And then for those of you who are like, I need to talk to you first, you have my discovery call. So it's businessgrants.com/discovery-call. Okay. And then we will talk about it. Let's talk about it. You might get me, you might get Jovita, but that's okay. We're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna get your more information about your business, and then give you a action plan. All right. Talk to you all next Thursday for the next Grant Review Live. I forgot we're streaming. There could be people on YouTube and Facebook right now who are saying I'm in. So we will let you know what the numbers are so that we can know how, if we got our 12. Remember, we just need our 12. We like Jesus. We just do 12 disciples at a time.
Amen.
Because we want to pour in, and it can't be more than 12. It can't be more than 12. So 12 at a time. 12 at a time, and we're going to make sure that you guys get to the next level with these grants and contracts. All right. Talk to you next Thursday. Bye-bye.
Thank you all so much. Thank you.